Let's bring in Angela Diffley, our International Affairs Editor. Angela, good to see you.
Hi.
Let's talk about where we are now in a moment with this ceasefire proposal. Just go through what is fairly complicated background to this story.
Yeah, so there's the short term, why has it erupted now? And perhaps then we could talk about, what this goes back to. In the short term, the Thais say the Cambodians have been trying to occupy a disputed temple on the border since January. There have been a number of clashes. Then in May, a Cambodian soldier was killed. In July, some Thai soldiers were badly injured by landmines. The Thais said that those mines had been newly planted. The Cambodians said they'd been there for a long time. So that's kind of the immediate background to it. It has escalated since then. In terms of what is behind this, when the French left Cambodia in 1953 and these borders were drawn, it has really been disputed since then. There are a number of ancient temples there. Those temples and the areas around those temples have been disputed ever since that time. And it is a little unclear why suddenly these periodic clashes, which have pretty much happened since 1953, why suddenly they've erupted again. And there are a number of kind of possible theories, but nobody's really very clear how this got to this stage. There is an idea that Cambodia is doing this for leverage in disputes over gas and oil rights in ports in the Gulf of Thailand. That is one possible idea. There is also the suggestion simply that Thailand, the Cambodians say about Thailand, that the Thais are manufacturing this entire crisis. And they cite, I think you mentioned it earlier, this infamous phone call which took place just a short time ago. The Thai Prime Minister at the time, Paetongtarn Tang, she was talking to Hun Sen, the former leader of Cambodia, and that was leaked, it is thought, by Hun Sen. And in that phone call, she was seen to be very subservient to him. There were a number of interpretations, but the one that took hold was that she'd been over-subservient and she had undermined the Thai army in this. Now, a lot of people say that the Thai army are looking to whip up nationalistic fervour, if you like, to perhaps stage a coup. That has happened in the past. There have been, I think, 12 coups since 1932. Two members of Shinawatра's family have already been the subject of coups in the past. There is form there. It could be a theory. But nobody is quite clear how this got to this stage so quickly, having been a bubbling feud over a border for decades.
So we have this scenario where, as you mentioned, long simmering, suddenly an escalation. A month ago, you have the Prime Minister, now suspended, Shinawatra, calling the leader of Cambodia uncle and criticising, as you say, her own military. Protests on the streets. I've seen also the analysis of whipping up for both sides. It's nationalist further at a time where both economies, let's face it, it's a big cost of living crisis, and actually it's a deviation point. But it doesn't quite explain, does it, that wider sense of, we're seeing fighter jets involved from the Thai side, and we're seeing a huge displacement of people on the border. What's your reading of where we are with this ceasefire proposal coming forward?
Well, for a moment, it looked really as nobody in ASEAN, which is the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, who have usually managed to mediate in these clashes. It looked as though there wasn't an awful lot of interest in getting involved in it. Malaysia's Prime Minister, Anwar Ibrahim, has put forward, since yesterday, a ceasefire proposal. There was a bit of confusion, one side saying the other didn't agree. Both have said they will now consider it. That is something positive. ASEAN look to be the best group to try and mediate, facilitate some sort of talks between these two countries. In the past, that has been what's been successful. UN Security Council meeting today, they can't do any more really than ASEAN. It's very likely that ASEAN will be the key to unlocking this. Neither economy has anything to benefit from this. And the Thai military is very superior to the Cambodian military. It does seem to have taken people by surprise, and there doesn't seem to be any clear reason for it having escalated so quickly. And those people caught up in the middle of it must be hoping that a war that doesn't have any real reason to have suddenly reached that crisis point can be diffused with the help of outside mediation.
Angela, good to talk to you as always for your analysis. We'll speak to you through the evenings. This is a story that's not going away despite the ceasefire talks, and it's not abetting in terms of the clashes. Thank you, Angela Diffley.